This week in Louisiana Agriculture.
I'm A.J. Sabine. Louisiana's young farmers and ranchers visit Capitol Hill to talk about H-2A, EPA, and the Farm Bill. I'll show you what else they talked about coming up.
Beet and cane growers unite to give sugar a unified voice before Congress when it comes to the Farm Bill. I'm Avery Davidson with that story ahead.
I'm Kristen Oakes in Culpeper, Virginia, where they're still celebrating the end of Prohibition. I'll have that story coming up.
Hello everyone, I'm Michael Dana. Welcome to this special edition of This Week in Louisiana Agriculture from the nation's capital. This is the time of year when farmers from across the country travel to Washington to tell their story to members of their state congressional delegations. A group of young farmers from Louisiana spent 3 days on Capitol Hill. Their concerns range from restrictive labor issues to the possible loss of direct government payments to rice farmers. As This Week in Louisiana Agriculture's A.J. Sabine shows us, these visits could be critical to Louisiana agriculture as Congress continues to struggle to craft a new farm bill.
In a quiet conference room in the Russell Senate building, Louisiana's young farmers and ranchers noised issues ranging from H-2A labor to EPA overreach with Senate Ag Committee staffers during their annual visit to Capitol Hill. Chairman Clayton Hurdle summarized his position on the federal H-2A labor program at a visit with Representative Charles Boustany. Boustany, who sits on the House Ways and Means Committee, recognized the need for a better system for ag labor.
If we don't have American workers, which it's been demonstrated we don't, then we need to bring in these temporary workers through the H-2A program to get these production crops to market. This is about food security for the United States. It's about having an export advantage as we deal in world trade.
Hurdle echoed that position, particularly as it relates to making the process less burdensome for farmers.
The H-2A program is a government-issued program. It's a contract between you and the government, so it's very bureaucratic. You know, it's a lot of red tape, a lot of paperwork, a lot of loops you got to go to get these guys in to do the job that you want them to do.
In this Farm Bill year, the focus is on the budget. In a meeting with Congressman Bill Cassidy of Louisiana's 6th District, rice farmer John Compton explained his critical need for direct payments for farm financing.
We really depend on those direct payments for not only for our profit margin, but when we go to the banks for lending, they're very bankable. There's nothing that I can think of that's more bankable than a direct payment. It's a concrete number that we get every year, once a year. The only replacement we've had so far is maybe a target price issue, and we really don't know if that's going to be the most bankable option.
Across the board, budget cuts, including direct payments, will be difficult to reconcile with ag lenders, says Jeff Landry from Louisiana's 3rd District.
And if we're going to do away with direct subsidies, we've got to give our lenders, we've got to give our creditors something that we can take to the bank, literally, no pun intended. And so when you do across the board cuts like that, you don't have the opportunity to get input.
While some of these young farmers took the time to pose for pictures with their senator, for some, these congressional visits represent an opportunity to be heard.
I look at it, if y'all not going to stand up, tell you what, I will. And then I really, coming up here, it's to me, it's, just voicing, letting them know this is what we need, opening that line of communication.
Communicating the needs of Louisiana agriculture for the next generation is what these congressional visits are all about. For This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, I'm A.J. Sabine.
The Farm Bill will begin to take shape once Congress approves the federal budget. Despite that fact, many in the farm community feel the current Farm Bill will likely be extended into early 2013. Neil Melanson will have a closer look at that aspect coming up a little later on in his Bottom Line.